Counting of ballots has been paused and will resume at 9 a.m. Around half of the 90 seats have been filled so far. Well, our senior Ireland correspondent David Blevins sent us this report, and a warning: it does contain flash photography from the start and throughout.
They sense a shift in the governance of Northern Ireland, a political earthquake for the United Kingdom. The result raises the prospect of a vote on Irish unity. Sinn Féin on course to nominate a First Minister.
Well, there's still a way to go yet, David, but obviously it's a very significant election for many reasons, and the people have responded to our positive campaign, a very positive message, and it's now time to get on with forming an executive and delivering for people.
The sea border between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the consequence of Brexit, has fractured the Unionist vote. But the Democratic Unionists were not conceding defeat. They know there can't be a power-sharing government without them.
We need the long shadow of the protocol removed from the political institutions in Northern Ireland. It is creating untold harm to Northern Ireland, and it needs to be dealt with, and it must be dealt with. And the government need to hear that message very loud and clear.
Sinn Féin did better than it hoped. The DUP not as badly as it feared. One of the big stories of this election is the quiet revolution that's taking place in the middle ground. While it's clear many people are still voting along traditional lines, a growing number are choosing not to vote unionist or nationalist, but for a completely new type of politics here. The Alliance Party could double its representation, a clear signal from a weary electorate.
Precious little hope available for people at the minute. It's been a pretty grim couple of years, and the politics has been pretty grim to match it. We just offered people, I think, hope that things could be better, and that's what we want to deliver on.
Brexit had already placed the constitutional question on the table, but will Sinn Féin now demand a referendum on Irish unity?
The conversation around the unity piece has been forthright into the fore for quite a considerable period of time. That was always going to be the outcome. That's going to continue the other side of this election regardless of the outcome.
If Northern Ireland has elected a First Minister whose party doesn't want Northern Ireland to exist, it's a defining moment. David Blevins, Sky News.
Well, I think it's important to wait and see the final result. The big focus has to be on making sure we get the protocol to work. I think Sir Geoffrey Donaldson was right on that clip that you just showed. But let's wait and see the final result. Of course, clearly the predictions that Sinn Féin has done well, but of course the unionist parties collectively are also a significant part of this vote, and the other parties as well, the Alliance Party and so on. The important focus, I know, from the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland is to make sure that the protocol works and is fixed as soon as possible, because clearly it is an issue for the people of Northern Ireland, and it's the right thing for us to be focused on.
Starts off with the front page of the Express. Dawn, this is one for you. I'll just read it out. Bullish Boris back on track as Red Wall keeps faith. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well done. Kamali, this is, I'll pick this one up because it's very interesting. The difference that the newspapers have treated the story about the Tories losing seats in London and the South. And as you've just read out, the Express is rah-rah Boris, as they always are. I mean, Boris would literally have to kill somebody before they were negative about him. Meanwhile, if you go over to The Guardian, it's Johnson blamed for Tory election woes. But I picked these stories because they're both using pictures of Boris Johnson at a visit to a school yesterday, Field End Primary School, in his Uxbridge and Ruislip constituency, where he spent time with a group of 5- and 6-year-olds drawing pictures of the Queen for her Jubilee. And these are all going to be displayed on the wall, and, you know, he signed his, and, you know, frankly, the kids' pictures were better, just saying that, just putting that one out there. But that was interesting. But I mean, it is interesting the way it's all treated differently, and it's sort of like, you know, he's emboldened as the red wall voters stick by him, and then it's like, but in the South it's not maybe so good. But the pictures I love of him with the kids, and as I said, there's one in the Express of him looking, oh, this is my picture, aren't I great? And then the Guardian of views from the same set of him going, oh, head in hands like that. So it's just the difference in the way this election is being reported. You can take pretty much whatever you want from it, but basically it was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, perhaps. I mean, Nadine Zahawi didn't think it was quite a disaster. I've got the pictures here. Yeah, you've got Boris Johnson on the Express, hands on hips, double teapotting, and then in the Guardian, oh, here we go. There we go. I think we can probably see that there, Boris Johnson with his head in his hands. That's also another. The picture is there on the front page of the FT as well. It really is a really great telling of the story of the night from two different outlets. All right, let's carry on then. Afua, we're going to go inside the Guardian now, page 2. This is all about COVID vaccinations. Tell us why this story jumped out at you.
Well, yeah, so this is a story about COVID vaccinations for younger people, and the Guardian reporting that the JCVI has said that younger people may not need a fourth vaccine. So we did have a spring booster program, which was for over 75,000 people who were more vulnerable. There's talk of an autumn booster program as well, perhaps, for the same age group. But yes, this story is saying that healthier young people in the UK may never be offered another COVID jab after having the first two and then the booster. Saying that because of the variants and the vaccines that are around at the moment, people who have, I quote, not yet reached middle age, who are healthier and younger, may not ever need this fourth boost of vaccine. Also, the JCVI is saying, quite interestingly, towards the end of this article, that an infection would probably give a younger person the same number of antibodies and the same amount of protection, that a vaccine would offer. I'm not saying that younger people should go out and deliberately get infected, but basically